Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Woo! The sensation, Jason Gavon!
Danmark har fået en ny verdensmester. Mikkel Kessler. He's the fucking champion of the world. Mikkel, man.
Now, this is Kurt Ward. I think you can tell it's not your usual Scotsman, Andy Patterson, who is, after having a long sleep, apparently he's having trouble with his router, and he may be forced for the first time in a long time to pay for a Sky pay-per-view. We send our thoughts and prayers out to Andy Patterson. I'm joined today by Alex Morris and Paul Webb, and we're just sitting here waiting because Alex, there's a fight going down in Vegas in a few hours, isn't there?
Is there a fight going on? I haven't heard much about a fight happening this week. I mean, it's all been a bit quiet, really, hasn't it? I mean, no one's really been building it up. We haven't really heard from any celebrities on it. I mean, we all know the celebrities love to watch boxing, and they've really not said anything about it.
Well, Carl Froch has, he's made an appearance. He's been missing in action. Andre Ward has been calling him out, but Carl finally made his glorious return to our screens, and he met his hero, Mr. Mayweather. Paul, what did you make of Carl's interaction with Money?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know that the Carl Froch fought at Wembley last year. He hasn't mentioned it.
How many were at the crowd?
He barely mentioned it.
How many were in that crowd?
Yeah, do you know, there was apparently 80,000, which isn't strictly true. There was 77, but yeah, 80,000 there, and he feels. Obviously, he's very proud of that and feels the need to remind anyone within listening distance that he did that. And when he spoke to Floyd Mayweather, the first thing that he could think to talk about was, "I fought in front of 80,000 people, Floyd, and isn't that wonderful?" And in a 10-minute segment on Sky earlier, he managed to bring up the Wembley fight 6 times in 10 minutes, which is impressive, to the point where I think he knows it pisses people off, and he's doing it just to wind us up. So, fair play to him. But I think his little face when Floyd told him that he knew who he was. He was so excited. He was like, "Floyd knows me." It's like, "Carl,
he's just a cunt."
Like, brilliant. Brian's here, which is good. So should we switch to Brian in Vegas?
Yeah, we've got Brian. If you follow him on Twitter, you might have seen his pictures with his heroes, Adam Brady Smith and Victor Ortiz.
Yeah!
What did you say to Victor Ortiz? Because that wasn't very nice what you put on Twitter about the man.
I definitely quit last night.
So I feel like we might not get much quality out of Brian's conversation this evening.
So Brian, what's been your highlight of the week so far in Vegas?
Oh, he dropped off.
He's
back. He's back.
He's back.
He's getting close now. The Pacquiao victory is stressing him out now.
How can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Nah, there is no stress with me. I'm as calm as fuck. I'm just heading down to get a couple of drinks. I'm going to watch your boy get his cunt kicks right in.
I was saying before you. I was saying
Then
before you got.
half of Twitter's just going to fucking abandon ship and never come back.
What's been your highlight of the week so far? You've been there.
What's that? The highlight of the week? Do you really want to know?
Go on.
Something that doesn't involve prostitutes.
Well, I can't talk then, can I?
Meeting Fat Dan.
What's that? Oh man, I've got that picture, but that's not getting posted. I just done it for a laugh, but he is a fucking monster there, man. You think somebody in his line of work could get a bit of weight off? But well, I can't really tell you the highlight. It was a highlight of a light. I'll need to tell people off here then, won't I? It's quite embarrassing, but it's funny at the same time.
Oh, tell us.
It's 1:30 in the morning and we've got 4 hours to kill, mate. So go ahead.
I know, but I don't want my bird Aisha hearing what I was up to before she got over here. But it's been fucking magic. I actually bumped into Dan Barker. It was pretty cool, man. He's actually an alright cunt. I did feel like I guilty exposing him.
I don't know what you think, Alex, but I think Darren Barker should have fought Felix Stern.
He should have done, really. I mean, I can't believe he ducked that fight at the end of his career. It was obviously there for him, and it's a shame it never happened.
Just one up there with Tyson and Ali as my favourite fantasy matchup. Only what if could have happened as well.
What if? Oh dear. So, how many are you both streaming then? Is that the plan for both of you? No one's paying for it on pay-per-view apart from me?
Team stream. Andy might be paying for it.
And Andy's just messaged me. He caved in and paid for it. He's got an area fault, so we send our thoughts out to poor Mr. Patterson, and hopefully he can get over this. But
Chris Pearson's about to get knocked out.
I just want to say though, tomorrow on the podcast, I think Andy's going to be in a bad mood, especially if Mr. Mayweather gets the win as well. I think Andy, actually, he might not even turn up. He might just duck.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, Sky's coverage has started early. Obviously, it went live at midnight, and we've had this is the second undercard fight I believe they've shown. They've also shown Froch's little interview with Mayweather as well. I mean, HBO and Showtime go live in about just under 25 minutes now. So, I mean, Alex, have your thoughts changed at all on the fight as it gets close now? You still riding with Manny?
Yeah, I'm going fully, full ahead with Manny. I think that he's going to win this fight. He was laughing his tits off at the weigh-in yesterday. He's having a great time. He's not worried about this fight. He's not worried about anything. He's always laughing. He's always having a good time. But Mayweather seems to be taking it very seriously. He's very sullen, very stern, because he knows he's finally had to take this fight, and this is the biggest fight of his career. And Manny doesn't give a fuck. Manny's got everything left after this, and Floyd's entire career rides on this one, and he's shitting it, and all of his fans are shitting it, and they better pray that Floyd turns up and is as good as they say he is.
That's the thing. I mean, Manny's already lost, hasn't he? He knows what it's like to lose, get knocked out. I mean,
he's not
carried
fucked,
on.
is he? Yeah, he's not
Floyd,
bothered.
the pressure's on.
Spot on. He's not bothered.
It is, but he's just because the pressure's on, but just 'cause that's the argument of he's lost before, so it's less pressure on him. Well, it is, but Mayweather's still excellent. I was really impressed with. Again, they're always going to be biased, but the Showtime Inside Mayweather Pacquiao, it was showing Floyd's training at the start of this week and how intense it is, and he just looks ripped as always. He looks really up for it. I don't think you can take much negative away from Floyd's demeanour, because he even said himself, when he comes on and he's all flashy and arrogant, it winds people up the wrong way. So this time he's been a bit more subtle about stuff, and he even said to Sky, he said, well, people are still getting wound up by it, so he doesn't know what he's meant to do. I just think, like I said, it's not going to come down to who's more scared to lose. It just comes down to that Mayweather's just a better overall fighter than Pacquiao is.
I think we've got Rocco joining us on the call. Rocco, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. You alright?
You're fully awake? Yeah, you ready?
Oh, yeah, I've just got in from work. I'm buzzing. I can't wait. I've got my Pacquiao t-shirt on. I might even have to knock a tactical one out to sort myself out. 'Cause I'm well fucking charged up. Do you know what I mean? Take the edge off me.
What are your thoughts on the fight now as it's close?
Right, I've got a question for you. Right, I messaged someone earlier and said, like, I mean, my mate was talking about this the other day, but all the people that Floyd's fought, like the last few years, Guerrero, Ortiz and all them, it's all been like their career high payday and they've hit the jackpot and they've all been shit against him. Right? But Cotto, he'd already earned good money, and Oscar, and obviously now Manny. And Oscar and Cotto probably give him his toughest fights. Wouldn't you say, the last 10 years?
Yeah. I suppose you're looking back at it, I suppose the first Madonna fight was difficult. It wasn't from the last 10 years, yeah. They probably are the two ones that stand out.
I'm just thinking that, like, when he gives these people the payday, like Ortiz and all people like that, they're just sort of like grateful. They just think, oh fucking hell, like I'm set for life now. You know, but obviously Manny he's earned big. He's been in big fights before. He's earned big money. So I don't know. I'm clutching at straws. I think.
No, I get it's a good point. I get what you're saying. I just think that again, it's like a lot of these where it's come down to the opinions of it aren't important. I think it just comes down to who's better. I think the fact that he's beaten these certain fighters easier than others is the fact that Ortiz and Guerrero, like you say, they were stepping up for the first time in both cases, and yeah, they were just nowhere near good enough. Whereas Cotto and certainly De La Hoya and there have been one or two others, they've just been better, but they still all lost. And it's like everyone talked about how good Cotto was that night. He still won 4 rounds out of 12, and if that's judge whether someone's... it's a good point, whereas Guerrero won nothing out of 12, and Alvarez won nothing out of 12, and Ortiz won nothing out of 4, Mosley won 2 rounds out of 12. There's a lot of fights where the gap has been massive, so when you get a closer fight like De La Hoya or like Cotto, it just stands out a lot more.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I mean, like, obviously Madonna, the first one, but I mean, you know, like, and he did have a go and everything, and that might have been like style-wise, but he did have a go. But look at the second fight. I mean, he done fuck all in that, but he'd earned the big payday from the first fight. And if you've seen the state of him since, do you know what I mean? You know, he's just he don't give a fuck now. He's set for life. So I don't know. I'm just clutching at straws, but thinking, like, is it, you know, that people who it's their big career payday, they sort of go in there a bit like they sort of like reach the top of the mountain. But
I mean, yeah, because you can flip the argument around. You could say that Juan Manuel Marquez's biggest ever payday was Pacquiao Marquez 4. So he's already, you know, he's already at that level. He's not feeling like he's going in as the B-side fighter, and he obviously did the job on Manny at the time. So yeah, there's definitely an argument for that. But I just think, again, the fighters that come in to cash out or to get the big payday, they're just simply because they're not good enough. I think that's what happened to, say, Ortiz, Guerrero, and a few others. It was just because they were never at that level. He had to have opponents. And I was talking to Kurt off air earlier, and we were talking about like the years sort of between 2008 and 2011, and you look at the fights that he could have had and how inactive he was, and he could have been beating your Guerreros and Ortizes up in that time period. He shouldn't have wasted the big deal he's got with Showtime on those sorts of fights.
I just think if you're looking at for a Pacquiao win, I think you got to look at and I said to Paul, I say, you know, if you look at Floyd's last few opponents, you know, not taking anything away from them, but they've all been quite slow of foot, and that's obviously something that Manny hasn't got. Pacquiao can get to his opponent quite quickly, and that's something that Mayweather hasn't had to deal with in quite a few years. You know, he's still fought good opponents, obviously, but he hasn't had to deal with that. And also, another reason that Pacquiao, he's the underdog in this fight. Now, obviously, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, he's very rarely an underdog. I think the last time was maybe the Oscar De La Hoya fight, and you know, him and Roach have been saying, you know, that has spurred him on in training even more now. They're obviously going to say that, but I just think, you know, that's put them in a position that they're not used to. And, you I'm hoping that we see Manny, whatever happens, the best Manny, and, he puts it on as much as he can. And the worst thing for me is, as a Pacquiao fan, I don't want to see a Floyd Mayweather dull decision win, like a Guerrero type, where he moves about the ring, pouring a jab out, landing a few punches, tying up. I don't want to see that. I'd rather see, an entertaining fight where, if Manny has to get knocked out, he gets knocked out. If that's what happens, but I think it's going to be close. I think the fact that he's a southpaw, he's fast hands, fast feet, I think that's surely going to present Mayweather, especially a 38-year-old Mayweather, with major problems, especially early. And it's the same vice versa. Mayweather is obviously going to present Pacquiao with problems because he's obviously a super talent.
I think the thing is, like I said, they're both fighting the best fighter they've ever fought. I think you could pretty safely make that point. So you don't know how, in a way, you don't really know how good either of them are, because you won't know until they face each other. That's why the fight is so intriguing. Even though that's why I've stopped talking about this whole 5 years too late thing. I just don't. It would have been a different fight 5 years ago, potentially, but they're still number one and arguably number two when Andre Ward's not fighting pound for pound in the world. It's still such an interesting fight, and I get a lot of heat because obviously I picked Mayweather, and it's not a personal thing with it. I just think that style-wise, I just think Manny Pacquiao is such a clean, come-forward fighter. He's not like Maidana. He's not going to be throwing elbows. He's not going to be throwing shoulders. He'll come at him. He'll want to box Mayweather because he is a very good boxer. It's just Mayweather's a better boxer than he is. So Pacquiao's got to hurt him. He's got to be busier than him. And like Roach said, he's got to throw 100 punches around, which that was what Maidana wanted to do. And he just couldn't do it. It's very, very difficult to keep throwing shots at air or hitting shoulders or hitting gloves if you're not making contact with your opponent. It must get very frustrating. And I remember, I've watched so many of Mayweather's fights the last couple of weeks, and watching him when he fought Ortiz threw the headbutt and lost the plot because he had Mayweather in the corner, swinging punches at him, quick punches, and was landing nothing. And it must, like I said, it must be so frustrating to be in there with Mayweather because he looks like he stood in front of you. And if you're sat in row Z at the MGM, you'll think the guy's landing loads of shots, but nothing's ever really landing. And he's been hurt so few amount of times, it must be difficult. You go in there and you think, well, I've got to try and knock him out, but no one's ever put him down properly. Okay, well, I've got to outbox him. Well, he's a much better boxer than me, so what do? And that is the riddle that is Floyd Mayweather.
Do you
Rocco,
know?
got anything to add, Rocco? Because we've got a few other people that want to get on. So go on, add your last point, go on.
Yeah, no, go on. I was just going to say, I mean, the first couple of rounds are going to be cagey, but, we're all going to be fucking jumping up, shallow punching the air if they start trading and all that. But, even, I mean, Manny's the underdog. He's the underdog. It's not, it is the hardest fight Floyd's had, but he's not really challenging himself, because look at the size difference. He's much bigger. But I just, wouldn't it just be great even if he just gets put on his arse? Do you know what I mean? I mean, Manny's a winner, whatever, because he took the fight. He's not the favourite. He's a winner, whatever. But just to see him, put Floyd on his arse would just be great. Just something just to give us a bit of hope. Because if it starts off and he's jumping in and then he gets caught, like Paul said, and then he sort of backs off and he's scared of jumping in again all night. I mean, I heard an interview with Roach earlier, and he said they're gonna effective aggression, and they're gonna they've watched all these tricks, and they're gonna cut the ring off, and then they're gonna.
I don't listen to what Roach says anymore. He just talks out of his arse all the time.
It's difficult though, like you say, because if the fight isn't exciting in the first couple of rounds, it's going to be a very one-sided fight. The only way this fight gets exciting is if Pacquiao puts it on him. And
that's what I'm saying.
Right,
do you think? And I can see the argument for Pacquiao winning it with throwing more punches and forget going for knockout, just getting him on the ropes and just getting in, letting off combinations and then getting away. But you can see, and Las Vegas judges normally score for aggression and things like that. So even if he's hitting arms, gloves, whatever. But, even if he goes out and he sort of tries to win the first 30 seconds of the round, So he ain't even got to throw punches for 3 minutes, but tries to win the first 30 seconds, the last 30 seconds, and then maybe a little bit in the middle. Do you know what I mean? And then, he ain't got to, like, expend himself all night too early. But, I mean, you look at a round, and you normally remember, like, the end of it, the start, and maybe a bit in the middle. So, if he just has if he has 3 little spurts, do you know what I mean?
Well, it's the accuracy. I mean, it's the accuracy. I've worked out on the theory that Pacquiao needs to be throwing, like I say, between 90 and 100 punches around, and he also needs to be landing 25% of his punches, which normally for Manny Pacquiao is not a problem. But against Floyd Mayweather, it's very rare that some fighters don't even get double digits of their punch percentage. He's got to be busy and accurate, and that's where I think he'll come unstuck. He'll be very busy, but can he be as accurate as he needs to be? Maybe he can, and like I say, Mayweather is the king of giving judges the chance to rob him of rounds. I mean, the amount of fights where, like I said, he hasn't won 120-108, and he's won, he's won 10 rounds to 2 or 9 rounds to 3, because he gives rounds up sometimes because he doesn't seem to do an awful lot, and he is guilty of occasionally taking a round off, and that's where Pacquiao's really got to dive on him and make the last 30 seconds of some of the very close rounds, he's got to end them properly. I think there is definitely a strong argument for Manny Pacquiao outpointing Mayweather. I don't think he stops him.
Just on volume,
exactly.
On a pure volume basis. I mean, I said that... Go on, Rocco.
No, Alex, did Brian... I only caught the end of Brian. Did he get a ticket?
No, he just posted a picture. I think he's in the...
He's waiting.
Vegas hotel. He's watching closed circuit, I think.
Right,
yeah, he's got a free bar at a closed circuit at one of the casinos, isn't he?
Rocco, we're gonna have to let you go, alright? Because we've got a few people.
Get other people on.
Stick around in the chat and have a good chat with the rest of them. I think they need keeping up.
And talk about it, but this is it. It's on. We're all fucking pumped.
That's right.
Absolutely right.
Let's go.
Oh, nice one, Rocco.
Right, boys, I'm listening in. Get some other people on.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Rocco. All right, mate.
We're just going to add Josh Tetlow now, so you two just talk a minute while I just add him.
So what's happened with this Chris Pearson fight? I haven't got the Sky feed on.
So Pearson's just won. It was actually, you know what? A lot of people were saying. I saw a lot of tweets saying about it being boring. It wasn't. I mean, the first 4 or 5 rounds weren't great, but it was decent. Pearson got cut. I'm just trying to catch up on the scores. But it looked, I mean, the last 3 or 4 rounds was a good scrap. I think Pearson's one. I always said the money team.
Yeah.
They always get to about 17-0, then they get sparked.
Yeah.
But he's a decent fighter. Pearson is. He's just this undercard's really difficult. It's when you have a fight this size, it's like there's no one in the arena. There's nobody watching these fights.
Yeah.
It's almost as though, and we're watching it in the UK, but in America they're not watching this. Top Rank aren't streaming it.
Yeah.
HBO aren't streaming it. What are the fights there for? As daft as it sounds, like what purpose is it doing apart from just to get a win on someone's record, or
well, that's it,
just getting a loss on someone's record?
It's just building people up and filling the time, isn't it? I mean, it's good that some people are in there watching it, but you know that 90% of the people in that arena aren't turning up till the main event.
You there, Josh?
Yeah, hello. Alright, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Hello, mate.
Yeah, you're fine, yeah.
Good,
excited yet?
Well, first of all, is it okay if I vent some Floyd Mayweather frustration?
Go on, we love a bit of Floyd Mayweather venting.
There you go. Well, all I've been hearing all week is how Manny's been KO'd and lost, and Floyd's never lost, and that's what's kind of winning the fight, Floyd, I've never lost, and all that shit. He has lost. Did anyone here score the Castillo first fight to Floyd?
No.
Nope.
Me.
No one. Look, so as Lee Froch would say, in his heart, he knows that he lost that first fight, and everyone knows he lost that first fight. So he has tasted defeat. In a sense, he has tasted defeat. And Oscar, did anyone watch the HBO Legends thing?
Yeah.
Which one? Wrong. We had the
Legends
I know,
speak.
yeah, I remember now.
Well, De La Hoya kind of shit himself, didn't he? Because he gives it all off on Twitter like, oh, Mayweather's lost 3 fights, and then when he comes on, he's like, oh yeah, well he hasn't actually. Fucking give us the truth then. Has he lost 3 fights or has he not? To me, he only lost that first Castillo fight. I gave him I had him beating De La Hoya and I had him beating Maidana by only a point, but
I had the Maidana fight a draw at the time, but I went back and scored it and I gave it to Floyd by a point or two. I think I just got a point
or two. So, but everyone's like, he's dominated every fight and he's never lost. I thought he lost the Castillo fight and he's had some really close fights as well. So that's the prediction thing, that he's never lost. So that's the reason he's going to win. Just utter shit, really.
Well, every fighter's never lost until they do lose, isn't it? I mean, it's a tired old cliche and a catchphrase.
Exactly. So that's why I hope he does lose tonight.
Josh, do you see him losing, or you think
I think he'll chew his way through the fight with his Vladimir hugs and fucking. He'll just chew his way through like he always does, I think.
Clinching on the inside.
When
the referee's going to work in his favour as well.
When anyone else does it, it's running like when Carl, I've tripped a few trees myself, Froch fucking got schooled off the rail. It's like, oh, he's running. No, he wasn't. He fucking absolutely destroyed Froch Durrell and fucking bullshit. But when Mayweather does it, it's like, oh, all these fanboys are like, oh, see that TBE. Fucking bollocks. But yeah, he'll chew his way through it. You heard it here first.
What do you think is better? I mean, boxing's better for the sport. I know obviously you're not a Mayweather fan, but is it better for the sport to have a perfect fighter who, I'm using the word perfect loosely, but a perfect fighter who gets to is unbeaten, or someone like Pacquiao who's much more likeable, whose record isn't as perfect? If you're a casual fan, do you want to see a perfect fighter, or do you want to see an underdog winning? Everyone likes underdogs, surely, don't they?
Well, I remember reading in Boxing Monthly something about how Mayweather always used to be wanting on to be the same money as Naz. And I think Naz was he got beat to Barrera, and he admitted he got beat. He had the same cockiness as Floyd, but once he got beat to Barrera, he wasn't. He said, "I got beat, fair enough. I'll try and come back." Obviously, he didn't come back, but Naz was I liked Naz. Naz was fine to me, but Mayweather's just fucking. I don't know. I can't stand him. Does my head in.
It's like if he had lost that Castillo fight, he would have been better for himself and everyone else, because he wouldn't have had this arrogance.
Exactly. He's talented. I'm not sitting there saying he's not talented. He's one of the most talented fighters on the planet. But it's just annoying that everyone thinks he's like invincible. He's definitely not invincible.
Yeah, but for that Castillo fight, he was injured throughout.
Oh, come on, he's injured every fight.
Press pass ball at it again.
In that one, even I could get onto this, mate. That's how big a fight it was. Press pass ball, didn't even get on the application. I did think the other day, Chloe, my girlfriend said to me, she said, if you did get a pass for it, because she doesn't understand that my website is tiny, that would you go over? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't got £50, but I'd rob a bank to get over there if I had a pass.
Paul Towser, his website, his boxing scene.
Has Floyd been for a fight without saying he's hurt his arm? Every fight, it's his hand or his arm. Oh my god, I broke my hand. Fucking every fight. Yeah, but Nazim broke his hands every fight, and no one moans about it like Floyd, though. Exactly, no one moans about it like Floyd, though.
Well, that's why he's got Xylocaine, isn't it? I mean, he numbs his hands, and after the fight's done, he starts to feel it because his fucking hands are swollen to fuck.
Yeah, how many boxers have swollen hands, but how many bitch about it like Floyd? Not many. He just has to tell us after every fight, I broke my hand.
It's a ready excuse, isn't it? It's a ready excuse for any fighter. They can say, oh yeah, my hand hurts, because you can't exactly dispute it, because they've been punching the fuck out of each other.
He went down in a fight, didn't he, once, because his hand hurt, he said.
But yeah, that was the...
Judo, wasn't it?
No, not
Hernandez
Judo.
Fight, wasn't
Hernandez, that's it, yeah.
Hernandez. Well, with I said with the hand thing's quite interesting, obviously, because that brings us on to the issue of the gloves that we had over the last 24 hours. Floyd Mayweather has to be the only person in the world who has complained about Everlast and Vito Rays, which are basically like...
He complains about everything, doesn't he?
He complained about the fucking cup Pacquiao was wearing. Why is he complaining about a cup? He's not exactly going to be punching him in the bollocks, is he?
Because he's a bitch, that's why.
It's like he likes to use the A side. He likes to play these games, doesn't he? There's nothing wrong with the gloves, but he just likes to try and just make things more awkward, doesn't he?
He's a bitch. We need Larry Merchant back.
If he was 50 years younger, he'd be fighting him.
Exactly. No, we need him back to some bitching about Floyd. It's great. It was great when he was there. He told the fucking truth about Floyd.
So, in summary, you're a big Mayweather fan. You hope it goes 48-0 and that Pacquiao gets side 3 rounds.
Like I said before, I'd be probably the biggest Mayweather fan if he wasn't such a bitch. You know. I would be. I like talented fighters. Lara's one of my favourite fighters. But, you know, he moaned less when he got robbed to Canelo than Floyd has when he won. Floyd has to moan. Floyd has to, you know, has to tell people about his wins and has to convince them that he won. And sometimes he didn't.
But then again, Pacquiao, you could argue that out of the 4 Marquez fights, how many did he really win? There's a lot of. To be fair, if you get to having 40 or 50 plus fights, you are going to have some close ones. There's no disputing that.
Yeah,
and like I said,
yeah.
So,
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. It's just, I just think he's a big diva, and that's not what the sport needs.
Well, the hang-up over the O is a big issue anyway. Like you say, I mean, the fact Manny has got losses just proves he's fought better fighters. He's fought in tougher fights, I would say, and he's challenged himself a bit more because, you know, he loses but he comes back. And I think
Exactly.
that's the problem with Floyd, is that sometimes he's not seen as challenging himself. And
you know, there's being an A-side fighter, and then there's fighting people exactly at the right time and exactly on your terms.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not the first person to do it either. I mean, let's be honest about it. Loads of people have. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. I mean, look at him messing about with Hagler. The fucking fuck about with that. He was a massive diva back in his day, but he still fought them. These guys.
Fucking, he was a diva, but compared to Floyd, he was fucking mellow. Jesus. But look, I like boxing, and I don't mind if either guy wins. I prefer Pacquiao to win, but I just hopefully Floyd just stops being a bit of a bitch.
Big question before you go is how are you watching the fight? Team stream or are you paying for it?
Sky. Fuck
Good lad.
No, unfortunately, not by choice. I wish I could get if I could get a really good stream and know it's going to work and it's HBO, I'd fucking snap it up. I'd probably pay 30 quid for that if I could watch it at HBO.
Just like I said, I put a tweet out earlier saying, they get Lampley, Bernstein, and Roy Jones, and we get fucking Jim the Scrot,
Christ,
and Nick Hollin,
and
Amir Khan and his.
And
bees.
currently, Carl Froch is on now telling us about his 80,000 in Wembley Stadium. So we've never heard that before.
Did he fight at Wembley 80,000? Did he?
I'm sure he did. He mentioned it. I'm sure he did.
That was funny when he tried to say it was tongue in cheek. That was the best part.
He's talking out his arse with that.
Fuck, I'm still hurt by that Durrell loss. I mention it every time I'm on here. The last time I came on, it fucking still pisses me off. He lost that fight so badly. Anyway, cheers for letting us on, guys.
No problem, Josh.
Cheers,
stick
mate.
around in the chat.
Enjoy the fights.
And you, mate.
See you, mate. See ya.
All right, next we're going to have boxing writer Sean Brown making his debut on the podcast.
Oh, brilliant. That's good.
We get. It's my contacts. I get the stars on. You know, this is what I do.
Can we ask Sean why to stop changing his Twitter name every 2 minutes? I don't know who I'm following anymore.
He's like Money Mayweather. He's a bit of a diva, isn't he? Obviously.
He is. Yeah, Sean. Isn't he Sean 2.0 at the moment? I think. I don't know.
Be careful now, lads. He might not come on. Might stop. Do you want to upset the man?
Well, there's 109 people on the Mixler at the moment, which is pretty good going for 2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised about that. Actually, you know, people obviously prefer us to Sky.
Right, it's Boston Carl Froch. Who would you rather listen to?
Well, we know Adam's thoughts on that.
Where is Adam anyway?
Obviously, listen to Carl Froch. Right, I think he's just getting added now. And if you want on yourselves, obviously add Boxing Asylum Pod to Skype and we'll get you on after whatever the queue is that we've got at the moment.
Alex, they just get a button that says join call, don't they, when they get
Yeah, there should be a little button or a little phone symbol that just says join call. And you just click that and we'll have you on. Right, the main show started now, isn't it? I think who's on first on the undercard?
Lomachenko, I believe.
Lomachenko's on first, right? I'll tweet that out.
Yeah, I think Lomachenko will be first out about 15:15. So we're just getting ready now. It's not There's not many people in the arena, sadly, at the moment.
No, it's a shame. I mean,
I think we're having trouble getting Sean on.
right. Who else have we got on? Who else is coming on? If Sean can make it.
I think we.
Oh, there's Brian.
Here's Brian King. He just pops up out of nowhere. He just shocks you.
My neck, my back, lick my pussy just like that. Woo!
Fuck's sake.
Hey.
Oh, we got Sean here as well now.
Can you hear me alright?
Alright, Sean, yeah, we can hear you.
Good stuff.
Brian, you got a ticket yet?
He's gone again.
Yeah, new rule. We won't have Brian on until he's got a ticket. Otherwise, just ignore him. Sean, you getting excited now as it gets nearer?
Oh, I'm fucking ecstatic, man. Can't wait.
Who have you got? Who have you got winning in the fight? And has your opinion changed as it got nearer, or has it always been the same?
Nah, I mean, ever since the fight got talked about when I was still in my fucking 20s, I picked Mayweather then, and I still do now. But saying that, I've actually had a bet on, and I've put on the draw, just because it's got no bad fucking odds, you know.
And the way that some of Mayweather's fights have gone recently, you know, the Canelo and the Maidana one have been close. I mean, I've gone for a split decision for Floyd. I think it's going to be close as well. And I mean, a draw, I don't think that would surprise anyone, to be honest.
No, I mean, if Floyd is going to have one more fight in September, who's he going to fight after this? I mean, he's not going to fight anybody like Khan, Thurman, so it would make sense. Frankie Gavin. Oh, he beats Brook, aye. If he gets the win and it's tight in any shape, even with one scorecard, if it's tight, there'll be a rematch. Look, if they can make a rematch for Mayweather, Maidana, then they can make a rematch for this probably, you know.
And, you know, the controversial sell as well. I mean, if it is a dodgy decision or, you know, a CJ Ross decision again, you know, something like that, then obviously it'll be bigger and better, I suppose, especially if it's a good fight as well.
Well, a lot of people have been betting the draw, haven't they, as well? I mean, that market's still right down.
Yeah, I went for that. Just because it's just no bad odds, but I think you'll basically get a fight of two halves. You'll get Pacquiao starting quick, and I think as the rounds go on, Mayweather will just slowly figure him out, and I think he'll just start to land the more eye-catching shots. But I just want a good fight, because if it's crap, I'll be gutted, you know.
Well, you know, it's the big stage as well, isn't it? Everyone's watching this, and you want something that will tell people, you know, boxing isn't shit. It isn't just these two guys. There's a bit more that can be seen, and obviously we don't want too much controversy with the judges again.
No, I mean, if we get a daft scorecard, and we're going to get that joke from Dan Raphael about that CJ Ross scorecard, because he says it every fucking week.
He hasn't done his toe jokes for a while, has he, to be fair?
Oh, he's a fucking wanker, so he is.
That's my boy, Dan Raphael. My boy.
Fucking tell him to eat some more fucking Mackie D's or Burger Kings. He's a prick.
Fat bastard. I should have told him my secret, but I wanted my diet. I wanted my diet for here. Just a fucking heavy stroke. A heavy Thatcher stroke.
Right, Brian, calm down there.
You know
You're
what I
going
would
to have a
actually
stroke.
like to happen? I would actually like this fight to be like Froch v Taylor, where Pacquiao's absolutely fucking schooling Mayweather for like 11 and a half rounds, and he gets fucking banjoed in the last minute just before he goes to fucking melt, man. He'll be like, hey, he's on the roids, he's on the roids. I'm like, fucking right he is. He's on his tits. 48 and fucking oh.
Fuck's sake, man.
I think Brian's having a good time in Vegas.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's the worry. I think a dull dull points win, for Mayweather. With so many people tuning in, maybe for the first time in their lives, or maybe the first time in a long time, and you get a bad fight, it starts the usual boxing's dead, it would be great to have a great fight, and a lot of these people who tune in, this could be the first of many for them, hopefully.
Well, I mean, you've got people over there like that Dan Roan from the BBC, and he's wrote articles in the past slagging off the sport, and now he's there speaking to Floyd and doing all the tweets and all that, and if it's a crap fight, he'll go back on his fucking high horse and say that the sport's done. So with so many eyes on the sport, I just hope it's a fight that's at least at some point entertaining, and but the way both men fight, I do think Manny will make Floyd fight, because Manny keeps going on about the fans, it has to be like a great fight and all that, and he's obviously speaking from the heart, so he might just make Floyd fight. If that happens, then you never know,
Yeah, and I mean, I said it the other week. I mean, if tomorrow we're talking about a dull fight, that probably means Mayweather's won and won it pretty well. But if we're talking about a great fight or an entertaining fight, I think Manny has acquitted himself well, and the fight's obviously up in the air, I suppose. It's really on Manny. I mean, if he makes it an exciting fight, he's got a great chance, because we've seen Floyd many times. He's happy. A win to him, I said to Paul off air, a bit like in the Klitschko character, a win is a win. That's all that matters.
It's safe no matter what, yeah.
Exactly, and it's hard to see Floyd, and people are talking about him, he's looking more like he's training for, to plant his feet more, and but I mean, I'm not convinced. I think he's going to be on his bike, to be honest. I just don't see him play. I just don't see him dropping that play it safe attitude against someone like Pacquiao. Personally,
I mean, all those images we've seen of him banging away the trees and all that, I mean, that's all we've seen. I mean, we've only seen images. We've only got word from their camp that's what he's doing. I would be shocked if Mayweather does anything else than play it safe and wait for Manny to come in, so then he can then land him with that right hand. I don't think he's going to go for the knockout.
No.
I think it'll be the same Floyd, but I think Manny will make him fight. And if that happens, it'll be interesting to see how Floyd reacts, because apart from the Maidana fight, he's not had that kind of opponent in quite some time.
How much do we think that Floyd's paid attention to the Marquez knockout, and do we think the significance of obviously Heredia and Ariza being in Floyd's camp? How do we think that affects his game plan? Do we think he's going to change anything because of that? Do we think that he's looked at that Marquez fight and thought, hold on here, I can catch him with similar shots like this, maybe I can really put it on him, or is he just going to be the same?
If he has, then I think he's maybe being a little bit naive, to be honest. I mean, that KO, I mean, it was brutal and it was bad, but how often is that going to happen in big fights? And Manny was boxing well in that fight before it happened.
Oh, that was one of his best performances, I thought.
Yeah, and he got caught. He got caught, and look, that happens to anyone. He got caught with an absolute peach. I can't see Mayweather taking Pacquiao out like that. The way Marquez took Pacquiao out like that, for me, raised a few questions, to be honest, but that's like another debate. I just think you'll see the same Floyd, that's all.
I think the thing with the Marquez fight was...
So a winning one then. Yeah! Can I have a rewind?
I think the
you
thing
on the cocktails, Brian?
What's that?
Are you on the cocktails, Brian?
Just a couple. I'm still sober. But it's a free bar until 15 minutes before the main fight. So I'll hammer that. I'll get wrecked. And there's a couple of fucking pack calves with all the tracksuits on. As soon as Floyd wins and they start getting it through, I'm going to run over that, the hidden one, and then I'm just going to fucking kill them. It's going to be great. It's going to be epic. And then outside, somebody's going to fire a gun, all the fucking brothers and what's going to start waiting in. It's just going to be a big mad fucking riot, and I'm just going to be kettle bombing everyone. It'll be fucking minted.
Someone's going to get stabbed. Someone's going to get
So
shot.
we're going to see on Sky News
then me and Aisha will go to the chapel and that, and we'll get a wee honeymoon and that, we'll go to Los Angeles and we'll just live happily ever after. Remember, let's see you again.
I think Brian should be on the Sky broadcast team. I think he'd liven it up a bit, but I think with the Marcus fight,
we've got the HBO man out here, the HBO and Showtime. We've not got any of that fucking monster.
oh, you're missing Hawlin and
He
Froch.
could fucking kill himself. he'll be getting telephone, see him? Oh, cunt.
They're all ringside, mate. They're watching the fights.
I can't believe that Lomachenko's on a 4 Real Santa Cruz. That's a fucking disgrace.
It is.
Absolute fucking disgrace. This man's the future. The fucking future. He's going to be in TNT. He's going to leave Bob Arum in about a year. Join TNT because that is the fucking home of champions. Badu the Ripper Jack. Yeah, the fucking Ripper.
Fuck's sake, man.
Some case.
Yeah. I just think, like I said, with the Marcus one, I think Pacquiao, he had him hurt, didn't he? And he made the mistake in going for it. I think he said afterwards, he had him hurt and he was foolish in, lunging. I just think people will look at Marquez and say, he's more like a counter punch, but he's just totally different one to Floyd. I mean, he's for a start, he's willing to stand in and trade and take a punch to give his own, and he's willing to stand in and, in the firefight, but Floyd's not interested in that. And I just think, before the Guerrero fight, if you remember, people were saying, what's Floyd's legs going to be like? He's been in prison, he's been away from the sport. And in that fight, he used his legs. I mean, Guerrero couldn't get near him. He was constantly on the move. And I'm just worried we're going to see that type of fight. But obviously Pacquiao is a lot quicker than someone like Guerrero with his feet. And hopefully, if he is that, they've worked in it. I mean, Roach seems to think that Floyd will go for the knockout. I mean, I just don't see that at all.
No, I mean, it's just that's just all fucking talk to make the interviews more interesting.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same Manny and the same Floyd, but like I keep saying, Manny will make Floyd fight, and it'll just be interesting to see when the first time that happens, what Floyd does. But I do think the way Manny fights will be what gets him beat.
So you going to draw then, or do you think it's?
I went for Floyd on that website that I do work for, but I've went for a bet on the draw just because of the odds, because it's so generous.
What odds did you get for it?
14s.
Oh, it was a lot wider than that, wasn't it? I thought earlier in the week anyway.
It's down up to 16 at the moment. Just looking on Paddy Power, 16-1, which
Yeah.
for a draw is still ridiculous. I mean,
It's still long,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, usually you see sometimes draws is like in the 20s, but I suppose, for this fight, it's very conceivable, isn't it?
Well,
if the odds are that short for one fighter to beat the other, then generally the draw is a lot shorter. It's very rare that you get a fighter who's less than 2-1 on to win, and a fighter who's less than 2-1 the other way. It's you don't often get. When Cleverly fought Bellew, I think it was the same. I think they were both 10-11, and I think the draw was. I mean, Adam Smith would know, but the draw was really short for that because in theory they're so evenly matched.
Makes sense, I suppose. That's Lomachenko starting now. I mean, it's a bit of a disgrace, as Brian said, that Lomachenko's on first, but there's no fucker in the arena anyway. Yeah.
No, there's nobody there to watch it. It's a shame, really, because like I said, this is, we've discussed this at length before. That if I was a top-ranked fighter or if I was with Mayweather, I would want to be on this show in a really good fight. And it's they've saved a bit of money, haven't they, doing this? Leo Santa Cruz against nobody and Lomachenko in a routine defence. Managed to save a lot of cash doing it, but they could be doing much better fights. Why would they bother when there's nobody there?
He's a fucking disgrace, though, fucking Santa Cruz. He winds me up like something else.
I mean, Jim Murphy got a really good dig in about because the guy's fighting's a mechanic. So he got such a good dig in about that. He gave his full job title, but he's a mechanic, obviously. So
see the difference between Lomachenko and Leo Santa Cruz. So Lomachenko's not really got that many options. Walters is trying to do a fucking Chavez and fuck off to Heyman. right? And Leo Santa Cruz can get any cunt that he wants, he could fight, but he doesn't want to fight MD. I mean, Mares was wanting to take the fight at, 3 weeks' notice? No. I don't want any excuses. All you've done is give us excuses for 2 years, you fucking dodgy, cash-looking bastard. I don't know if they could understand me, but I did call my pussy and tell him to stop fucking... just sort it out, just fucking sort it out and sign the contract. So obviously he didn't understand a word I was saying, or they'd probably put the heat in.
But I mean, when you see Santa Cruz getting interviewed, he
he's
keeps
fucking
saying
tiny.
the same things.
He's tiny. I think Frampton burst him. Don, here's a total different story. I saw the next to him last night, and he's fucking massive. I was like, I don't know how you can make that super bad. I mean, you're huge, and he just laughed. He's like, I love my food and I love my drink. So he's like, he was an alright wee cunt. But he says he would travel over to the UK, and he says that it just basically says Hearn was full of shit. He says he told me they didn't really put an offer in, but they told Vic through the boxing voice that they lowballed him and put in a fucking stupid offer that he was never going to ever accept. So Hearn's just been Hearn, which is cunt. But here he is. Right, I'll be back for 15 minutes. I'm just going to watch the future. The fucking future, come on.
Got anything else to add, Sean, before we let you go? We've just got quite a few people wanting to get on.
Oh, you're alright, man. It's okay. Just get the next man on. I'll speak to you soon, alright?
Right, thanks for coming on, and we'll get you on again.
Yeah, worries. Take care, mate. Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Sean.
Sean. Who have we got next?
I think we got the George Groves fan.
Oh, was that Christine coming on? Have you seen her flag that she's put up?
Is it the Filipino one, yeah?
Yeah, the homemade flag.
Very tired after all that hard work she did.
Was it just felt tips on the bed sheet, was it, and stuck it out a window?
I'd be very careful about what you say, Paul.
I thought it was a good effort.
She's very excited about this fight.
I feel like Rodriguez looks alright, you know. He's had an alright start in this fight. I'll say that, and Lomachenko just nails him with the left hand. Yeah, ignore that.
That's the running commentary for you.
It's better than listening to Nick.
I've got it muted, I just can't stand him. I can't believe he's got that gig after all the shite that he's given us over the years. Nick Hallin sitting ringside, calling the biggest fight of fucking decades. Absolute
What was that? What was that line someone said the other day? They said, so just think about it, Nick Hallin will be sat one of the closest men. Yeah, is that yours? One of the closest men sat to the ring, and we're paying for him to be there.
Exactly. You're paying 20 quid so that he can call the fight ringside, and he's having a fucking time of his life. Him and Jim Watt, fucking absolute wank stains.
Christine on?
She was added. She's got to join the call, I think.
Yeah, just quick join call, Christine.
Need to get Graham on as well. He's ducking the pod. He's in the chat. He's talking the big one about Floyd, but he just can't join the. He just refusing to get on the pod and defend his man because he knows Floyd's getting beat.
He just doesn't want us to hear his Joe Pasquale voice.
That's true. He's saying, "Oh, I'm too stoned for it," but you know he should be
bullshit.
Fine. He's scared.
So here's a question, Alex. If Mayweather wins,
yeah,
what will that change about your thoughts towards him?
Well, it depends obviously how he wins and the method and you know how easily he wins and etc. But obviously I've got to give him credit for it. I've always given fighters credit when they prove me wrong, which seems to happen a lot, obviously. But you know, I'll give him full credit for it, and I'll say to him, you know, well done. Obviously, it's always going to be a bit of a tainted victory, I feel, because of the fact he's taken so long and he's waited so long. But I do agree that this fight is...
Alex will just say Pacquiao was shot.
Yeah, Pacquiao was shot. Floyd was juicing. He's cheated. He had the judges in his pocket.
Fairly standard then. Yeah,
Christine, are you on?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Right, morning.
You alright?
Yeah, but we're getting nervous now. It's getting close.
I'm not getting nervous. I'm fucking confident.
Yeah,
Pacquiao's gonna fucking
totally.
destroy him.
That sounds like a Floyd Mayweather line, that does. I'm not nervous, I'm confident.
Yeah. He doesn't look very confident now, does he?
He doesn't. He's shitting it.
Yeah, I would be too if Manny was there to dethrone me. Do you know? This card is absolutely painful. It really is.
Apex location.
God.
Can someone just not mute him at the moment?
Let's just block Brian.
Literally every couple of minutes you just get this. That's just amazing.
It's the Arab C. Nesbitt coming
Fuck
out.
you, you brummy bastard.
Oh, see? Jesus Christ. Well, at least he's excited, eh?
He sat in a movie theatre that he's paid $400 to be in, so God bless him.
Oh, well. At least he's there, though, eh?
So how do you think the fight plays out then?
You're fucking right, Emma. Woo!
Do you know what? I don't know. I can't answer it. I just know that it's Manny's time. I think it's karma in the flesh for Mayweather tonight.
This is 2012 when he got knocked right out. This is his retirement party, and you're a fucking full guest. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, hello.
Just ignore him. Do what we do.
I'm trying. Seriously, I'm trying.
So how does it go? How does it play out then? How does the fight go, do you think?
Do you know what? I can't answer it. I don't know how it's going to go. But all I know is that Manny is karma in the flesh for Floyd tonight. And Floyd's going to lose.
It's good stuff. I agree.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's Manny's
Mega
time.
lows.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
He's just very annoying, isn't he?
Can you not block him for I don't know, until the fight's finished?
This is why we need Pacquiao to win, to shut him up.
I think we need Pacquiao to win to shut him
Pacquiao won, I
up.
would just be Team Pacquiao. I'd just erase everything and I wouldn't give a fuck.
The Manny team hat that you've got there.
Fucking here we go, Manny. Here we go. Kidding on, I love God, but I'm really fingering prostitutes and sniffing drugs. You wee dirty tax dodging bastard.
Jesus Christ. He doesn't quit, does he?
I'm no Victor Ortiz, baby.
Fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, just mute him. So, what, Christine? You think Manny's going to stop him?
See, I'm not too sure. I don't think either has got the power to stop each other. I can see it definitely going 12, and I can see either one of them on the floor. But it's just a matter of who goes down first, and I think whoever goes down first is lost.
How do you think Floyd would deal with being on the floor then? How do you think that if he does get legitimately knocked down, do you think that he's going to get angry about that? Do you think he's going to stay composed? Because obviously, I mean, he's been down before technically. He's had a few 8 counts, but he's never been properly knocked down. Do you think that will rattle him a bit?
Well, I don't know. I think if it happens, I think he'll panic. I think he'll run from there on out, whatever round it is that he goes down. I think he'll try and keep Manny away and just try and catch him coming in, just like Marquez did. And if not, then I can just see Manny just completely just going at him. I can see Manny landing, I can see Manny hurting him. Obviously, Maradona landed too and rocked him. Mosley, there's another one. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts if Manny can put him down. That's if. Manny can put him down.
Yeah, it's a big ask, isn't it? I mean, it's the fact that, you know, we do think that Floyd's got an iron chin. He was rattled by Shane Mosley. That was an absolute peach of a punch. Same with the Maidana one. He had him on Queer Street. It was at the end of the round, unfortunately. So what the fuck was that?
Have no clue.
Right, I know you are saying that. I know you are saying that, right? But you are picking out 2 punches in about fucking 40 fights.
I was just saying he's just got a great chin, you wanker.
He get rocked with Madonna, right? Fucking Manny gets seriously fucking punched about half a Margarito, right? But nobody brings that up. Manny's easy to hit. He's fucking perfectly easy to hit. Straight right all night. Straight right. That's all I'm saying. There you go.
We're discussing the chin of Mr. Mayweather at the moment, and I'm saying that he has been caught with some very significant shots, and he hasn't gone down yet.
But that just shows you how little he gets hurt. It's like people just keep bringing up 2 punches out of so many fights. Just 2 punches.
Yeah, it's a good tactic for him, but you know, it's a different fight now, and it's a different fighter, and it's a different style, and it's a different stance.
I don't think that Marquez is any quicker at any point is what Floyd does right now. I don't think he was ever any quicker. And he timed him after 2 rounds in the first fight. He started timing him, and we all know that Pacquiao lost every one of these fights.
Fuck off, did he?
We all know. You know. Kurt knows. The Pactard Asylum knows. Even my nephew knows, and he's not even watched any of the fights.
And you know he lost the fucking Castillo fight.
Oh, right. Don't disrespect me like that. Do not disrespect me. I'm in an emotional glass cage right now.
Fuck's sake.
I'm surrounded with Pactard. Surrounded with them. It's like fucking Sixth Sense. I see dead people.
I would have thought there'd be a lot more Floyd fans there.
Is he gone?
He's just...
Floyd fans have been here all week. These fuckers only turned up yesterday. Probably been fucking at the side of the road selling bread and pegs and all that to get here, then they're going to fuck off tomorrow again.
Fuck's sake.
He's that fucking turd that just won't flush, isn't he?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Only Brian could be in Vegas and spend his time trolling on here. Brian, come on.
Wouldn't have him any other way, I suppose.
We just saw Floyd just make his entrance there. He's in the arena now, so he's with his big bodyguards that he likes to hang around with. So
Jesus, I think it should be the women, his women with the bodyguards, not him.
Oh.
No, I've got no time for like that.
I can't believe so many are up and actually, because this is hard to watch, isn't it? This undercard. I mean, I like Lomachenko, but this is just. I mean, Sky's been on there 2.5 hours, and it's pretty dreadful.
I'm not even watching it. I'm just pacing up and down my kitchen into my hallway and back again.
Yeah,
In your Pacquiao outfit.
Yeah, my flipping custom-made hoodie too.
Excellent.
I know. That's the thing with me. See, people might laugh and think it's all a joke or whatever, but if I support a fighter, I'll support a fighter. And I don't care what anyone says to me. I don't care what they think of me. I'll do it my way.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. People need, proper support on that.
Yeah, and the outfit's on, the flag's out. Alex, you should have done something like that as well. Sport man.
I've got my balloons and my canvases.
I should have got my own sort of little ninja outfit and put a flag up outside my house.
Listen, it's not a ninja outfit, right? But no, all joking aside, no, it's kept me going all day. It's given me something to do. I've been up since 6 o'clock. Well, no, yesterday morning. And this fight is just seriously taking over my whole life this week. I can't work. I can't do anything without thinking about Manny and Floyd. Oh, it's doing my head in.
Yeah, I'm sort of finally getting into it. Like I said, I had a nap earlier, and I must have dreamt about the fight and the outcome of the fight about 3 or 4 times, and it's just...
Not everyone is dreaming about it.
I know, it's just weird though, isn't it? You wake up and you think, oh, has the fight already happened? But then you realise, oh, it's still got to happen, and it's going to happen, and there's going to be such a fallout from this fight, I think, that, you know, obviously social media is going to be going absolutely mental no matter what happens and who wins, and it's, you know, there's going to be a lot of shit talking, people are going to take a lot of shit, but it'll be fun, and that's why we do it, that's why we pick our sides, and you know, it's fun, and we've all been there, we've all been on the losing side before, and this one's going to really sting, I think, for the losing side.
Yeah, it will do, because of the fighters. You know, they're the 2 of the best in the world. So, you know, it's completely different to what Froch, like, keeps putting to Floyd. Do you know what? I cringed so much. I actually looked away from the telly and covered my ears after he'd done that.
I know, it was so bad. He was just like so confident about it. He was so like happy that Floyd knew who he was, and he had to jump straight in with his fucking George Groves comment. It's just embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It was absolute. Do you know what? Even if I liked Froch, I would be sitting there thinking, oh no, you just didn't just tell the flipping best fighter in the world what to do.
I know.
Do you know? You don't do it. And if you look at Floyd, he's just looking at him. He's probably not even listening to him with this silly little grin on his face, as if to say, yeah, just shut the fuck up. You know? And I would have been, yeah, do you know, who are you? But, you know, that's just the way it goes, the stuff that goes.
We've just added Jack Rathbone to the call. Jack, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
What's your prediction for the fight? You getting excited now?
Yeah, pretty excited, to be honest. Obviously, like the vast majority of us rooting for Manny, but just sense a close UD or a split decision in Floyd's favour. But yeah, obviously rooting for Manny.
Yay!
That seems to be quite prevalent, doesn't it? A lot of people saying, oh, Floyd's probably going to win, but rooting for Manny.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Floyd's been a little bit naive in thinking that his persona over the last few years, and especially during the build-up to this fight, and being a little bit more passive than he was earlier in his career, is potentially going to win over some neutrals. But the way the American media have covered this fight have basically just exposed him, and obviously half of them focusing on the domestic violence issues he's had earlier in his career, and it's just created a swell of support for Pacquiao, and he really is like a bigger people's champ than probably he's ever been in his career.
No, absolutely. I mean, he's got that public support, hasn't he? He's got, you know, it's the worldwide interest as well. I think obviously a lot of people know who Floyd is and know obviously a bit of his ability, but Manny seems to just have captured the interest of, you know, normal people. Obviously the talk of the domestic violence seems to be taking the forefront, as you say, and Pacquiao just seems to be the good guy. I mean, there's that very popular image of, you know, Floyd as the devil and Manny as an angel, wasn't there, a while ago, that seemed to be going around social media. And I don't necessarily agree with, you know, the message it was saying, but it, you know, people really latched onto this idea of good versus evil.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's easy to forget, and I mean, a lot of us boxing fans know that Manny is absolutely far from an angel. We know, like, he's had his lack of faith with his partner, and his pretty extortionate gambling problems, but it genuinely seems like he does have a good heart deep down, and that those are just a flawed part of his nature, whereas Floyd just comes across as a little bit more sinister in his character.
Oh, he's a bit of a wanker, basically.
Yeah, well, that I went for the polite route, but yeah, this pod, there's no need for that, is there? But yeah, but one quick point, because I know you got loads of callers on. Just wondered, what punch do you think has been the most effective one throughout Mayweather's career from his opponents. I mean, I was looking back at a few of his fights this week. I know Paul was as well, and it struck me that the jab from De La Hoya was probably the most serial effective punch from his opponents throughout his career.
Once De La Hoya, I don't know whether he just stopped throwing it out of, because he seemed to fade, didn't he? But once the jab stopped, that's when Floyd seemed to take charge, and we've never really seen someone use the jab for the whole fight against Floyd since, have we? He's like, but Oscar De La Hoya, he really employed it well for like, I'd say, 6 or 7 rounds, and then he just seemed to go.
Definitely. I think there's a little bit of a misconception about how Floyd gives you 3 and when he takes over. He gave a lot more than 3 to De La Hoya, and it really, I don't know whether it was a stamina issue, but you're right, it was at least 6, maybe 7 rounds where that jab was definitely finding a home, and I wonder whether as the southpaw Manny's left can be somewhat effective, and even if he uses it less than De La Hoya did in the first half of their fight, it might have that stunning effect and become more of a game changer, even if it's not going to be a concussive punch tonight.
I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I mean, if you're talking about the De La Hoya fight, I think after 8 rounds, personally, I had that an even fight. I think the Maidana first fight and the Hatton fight, I had that pretty even after 6 rounds as well. But like I said, he seems to adapt in the second half of the fight, or he figures them out. And I think Manny, the problem is he's always been like a left-hand happy fighter. He has worked on the right hand, obviously, and he has obviously got a lot better over the years. I mean, when he first came over, he was just a left-hand banger, to be honest. But easy. I just don't see him using the jab, to be honest. He's not really that kind of fighter, but it is a punch that I think one would use against Mayweather, but I just don't see him employing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think I think you've said it before, and those who are picking Manny tonight, it's all about work rate, really, isn't it? And even that might not be enough, because we know the chances are at least one judge is going to be looking for like the eye-catching, clean, crisp shots in each round. So he's got it all to do, really, because like being a little bit more cynical in terms of like Vegas being Floyd's economy, I think Manny's going to have a tough time getting at least 2 of the judges on side.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, the judges' issue seems to be brought up quite a bit. I think obviously with the close cards that we've seen in some of the Floyd's recent fights, you might have to question whether the judges really do support him or not. And the fact that he's on his way out, as it were, that, you know, we're going to see maybe a will of the change of the cards, or a will that, you know, we've no interest in supporting, you know, in giving this guy favourable cards. Maybe we'll see him as he is and see him off, and maybe give Manny something extra. You never know, and that's probably what makes this fight a bit more interesting, is that maybe the judges won't fuck it up. Maybe they'll just be interested in, you know, maybe an even fight, or maybe they will just favour Pacquiao's work rate, as we've seen in the past, that, you know, ineffective work rate and flashy punches. And obviously I think the crowd are going to be behind Manny as well. That might sway certain opinion. I think that certainly was the case in the Maidana and the Canelo fight, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think, as you said, it is arguable which way the judges will be swayed.
Come in. He's smiling away.
Yeah, it's real now.
Little jinky with him. Just how are we going to sit through the Santa Cruz
He's got his
fight,
red
though?
hoodie on. Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
Jack, you got anything else you want to say before we let you go?
No, that was really just it, to be honest. I think you've all covered it pretty well over the last hour or so. So yeah, rooting for Manny, and let's hope he gets it done.
Thanks a lot for calling, Jack. Hopefully it's the result we all want.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to happen.
Let's hope tomorrow's pod is a celebration rather than a moan-up, as usual, even though I do enjoy the moan-ups.
You'll get one
Good
from
stuff.
Andy because he's had to pay for Sky, and if Floyd wins, I think Andy will be. We could get a legendary rant from Andy, I reckon, tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Right, cheers, Jack.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, bye.
Just gonna add Declan Taylor now. I think he should annoy Christine because he bottled his prediction. He went with Manny, and on the pod.
He's a flip. He let me down. He did.
He's always bottling. He's always sitting on the fence, and he shits it when he comes on the pod. So he's going to shit it again.
This might be his redemption. He might be on to go with Manny. I don't know. Or will he bottle it again? I just don't know.
He's probably going to bottle it.
Go with your first instinct. You have to go with. You stay with your first choice. I don't believe in this. Oh, I want my heart says for Manny to win, but my head says Floyd. No, it doesn't work like that. You pick one, you stick with one. You can't have both.
Exactly. No more fence sitting.
No, I don't like it.
You listening, Declan? Come on, time to step up now.
Where is he?
I think he's worried about coming on there. Declan, are you there?
Hello.
So, is this going to be a Mayweather whitewash like you predicted?
I never predicted that. No. I did bottle it a bit, but I think, I'm pretty confident now. I'm pretty confident.
Ha! Gay!
No, I think by the end of the night, I do worry for Brian. I don't think it's going to end well for him.
Worry about yourself, Mother Care. Worry about yourself.
I think he's gonna be crying into his TBE cap by the end of the night.
We hope so.
Oh dear.
Hey, hold on, I've got somebody who wants to talk. Declan, shut your fucking mouth.
Am I on the podcast? Is this Alex Morris, who I talked to on Twitter? Mark McFarlane here. Alex, I hope the fuck you're a lot more cheerier tonight. You're always a miserable bastard on Twitter, but we'll still follow you. I just want you to be a bit fucking happier every now and again. It looks like you're about to fucking kill everybody in the whole fucking country. Keep it together, and we'll be okay. It's not your fault you voted fucking no. Vote fucking yeah. You just had your chance to get away from them. You just fucked it up. Move on, we'll be good. And you just gotta get this fucking idiot off the fucking podcast. He's not even drinking, he's making a show of us. I'm drinking for fucking two, I am here. I can't be a parent. I'm gonna push this back onto him.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
I don't know why he's taking a dig at Alex. Alex is a staunch Tory.
Alex has his haters, unfortunately. No idea why.
He's the biggest Tory you'll get. He's got his banners out. He's ready to vote Tory. I don't know where he's gone.
So Declan, you're confident in Manny now. This is it.
Probably I'll be at the back chasing a couple of foxes with your fucking 42 dogs or something, the dirty rat.
No, yeah, I'm confident now. I was worried. Yeah, I bottled it a bit the other day, but it's just like, I think, I'm getting a bit nervous now, so, I let things worry me a bit, but I think, I'm pretty confident now, actually. The nearer it's got. I think, the speed, he's gonna, actually, I think as long as he gets, like, the first half of the fight, as long as he wins, as long as he starts quick and makes Floyd have to catch up, 'cause I think if he lets, him sort of, because, I've seen a lot of people saying, I know Froch's comments, he made it all about him, but, he did have a point in a way about, the way he's been training for it and stuff. And I think, he does have a point that, he might try and impose himself a bit more than he would normally. What's it, something on that vibrator?
I don't know what the hell that is.
Fucking Brian again.
Yeah, it's vibrator, it's Brian.
Right,
Right, I've turned it off. Yeah, I was just going to say, I think if he's going to try and pose himself a bit more near the start of the fight, I think, as long as he doesn't, as long as Manny wins, just, starts well is the most important thing, I think. Because obviously, but, we was talking the other day on the podcast on Sunday about, him fading, but I think that's the main advantage really that he's going to have compared to other fighters, is that I don't think he's gonna fade in the second half of the fight compared to De La Hoya and fighters like that.
No, well, if his volume is there, it's going to be there at the start, and if it's still there in the second half of the fight, then I think he's got a great chance, and that's why I've gone for the split decision. But I just think if his stamina's there and the volume, I think the judges will favour Pacquiao's style, to be honest.
I think a split decision or a majority decision is nailed on, to be honest, because like I said the other day, I think it's going to be the same story with Floyd, where a lot of punches are going to be on the arms, but if he's outlanding him by quite a lot in some rounds, you're gonna have to give it to him. And Froch again, I hate to agree with him too much, but he was going on about if Floyd tries to do his usual and just pot shot off the back foot, then I think he's just going to have to do more than that. He isn't just going to be able to fight at a certain pace off the back foot. He's going to have to do more, I think, in this fight than he's ever had to do before.
Yeah, well, we just hopefully it's a good fight, whatever happens, because with so many people tuning in for the first time, maybe it's hopefully that some of them can become big boxing fans and stick with the sport instead of just seeing a crap fight and just giving up on it.
Yeah, well, there's no count there for this Lomachenko fight. Anyway, I've just stopped watching that for a minute. But it's a shame that there's no one watching him. And obviously, like Brian said, it's a bit of a joke that Santa Cruz in his joke fight against the fucking mechanic or whatever he is. That's just a joke how he's fighting as the chief support to this fight. He's just stealing a living now, really, and he doesn't seem intent on fighting anyone half decent.
I can feel your pain, Declan. You sound totally distraught over this. But then again, you sound distraught every fucking day.
Of course, man. I know you're. You might not hear my voice, but I'm confident. You might not hear it, but I am.
Well, put your money where your mouth is. Start putting a bet on then.
Brian's just trying to psych you out here. Declan's confident. I can hear it.
He's not psyching anyone out. I think he's the one who's worried. He knows he's invested a lot on Twitter. He's invested a lot on Twitter in Floyd.
Get in your head. I'm sitting here doing a Rubik's Cube right in front of you now.
I think deep down that tonight, TBE 46-2.
46-2. That's fucking the gay thing. If you're in front of me now, I would have to slap you in the cheek.
I think it's gonna be Castillo all over again.
Oh, jeez!
I'm disappointed that Conan Alex has fucked off somewhere. I was hoping to have a go at Alex, but looks like he's gone. So he's probably fucking falling asleep at this shit undercard.
Probably, yeah. Right, Declan, is there anything else you want to add before you let you go and just get a few more people on?
I'm going watching Santa Cruz now in this magnificent fight. It's really getting me psyched. It's really getting me psyched for the main event. So I'm off to watch that.
Thanks a lot for calling, Declan. Hopefully you call in again.
Yep, see you in a bit.
Bye. Cheers. Rob, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, he's fine, yeah. You getting excited now?
Yeah, getting excited. Just, I don't know, are you guys watching what's just happened?
Yeah, we got it on now, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of, because that was started off as a bit of a boring fight, but looks like it picked up. Lampley's already been taking digs at Leo Santa Cruz. That's been pretty fun.
How do you think Lampley's going to call the main event? Because he's been critical of Floyd, hasn't he, in the past?
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that, to be honest, because it's not even that he's been critical of Floyd, it's that he's so pro Pacquiao I can think of times in the like in the Marquez fights where Marquez will be landing like really good punches and Lampley just completely ignores them and things like that. And so it'll be interesting. Hopefully Bernstein keeps him in check. But we'll see. I can see a lot of casuals that might think Pacquiao should have won when the reality is completely different.
I agree with that. I mean, sorry, I only just came back, so obviously there was the Bradley fight that seems to be the most significant. That a lot of people point towards Lampley's, bias and things where he was saying, "Oh, it was a great shot, great left hand," and obviously he missed. And sometimes those flurries can be a bit blinding and sway certain commentary. Obviously, that fight was a lot closer than some people had it, originally. Obviously,
where's my flag? Where's my flag, Kilbrook?
Fuck's sake. But yeah, I reckon that commentary will be certainly, an influence. Obviously, we've got Jim Watt and Nick Halling over here, and they're as unreliable as you can get. And obviously, the Americans have got probably a better team, obviously, in Lampley.
Although I see from what I've been reading, most people have been quite happy with the Sky stuff tonight so far. So hopefully it'll stay that way.
Well, I mean, there's only been 2 fights. They've seen the Chris Pearson fight and the Lomachenko fight. I mean,
yeah, but I think even in terms of the people were kind of expecting that it would be all about is Kelbrook going to fight the winner kind of thing, and apparently they haven't.
Give it time. They'll fucking be on that.
Yeah, they haven't been doing that kind of thing. So,
do you think that some of them have been told not to say certain stuff? Usual shite like, don't turn around and compare this to Leeds and stuff like they would normally do. You think Holland and that have been told to rein it in a bit?
Maybe. I mean, I do think they are given a bit of an agenda when they're on the normal Sky shows. They're saying, "Oh, make sure you say this opponent's good, this opponent's that." I mean, we always see it with Anthony Joshua a lot. The hype that they give him, and I think maybe on the international shows they do seem to rein it in a little bit. So maybe they are told, "Or pack it in a bit," or maybe they're told you don't have to hype it because no fucker's watching anyway.
Yeah. Are you still picking Pacquiao, Alex?
Of course I am. Manny Pacquiao, unanimous decision.
But is that a pick with the heart or is that a pick with the head?
A bit of both. Probably more so.
It's a ringside Robbie pick.
It's probably, I'll admit it's probably a heart pick more than a head pick, but I do think, I picked Manny originally back, 5 or 6 years ago. I thought Manny would beat him then, and I don't think much has changed just since then. Obviously, they've both declined. Pacquiao's been knocked out, but
I actually think that Mayweather. I think Mayweather's going to win, but I actually I've watched a lot of their fights back over the last week or so, and I'm utterly convinced that Mayweather's the one that's declined more than Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. I think Pacquiao would have had a better shot 5-6 years ago.
That. I did say that the Marquez knockout kind of gave people this myth that Pacquiao was declining. His style and all that, his punch outputs went down a bit, but it's not changed that much. I think people just over-exaggerate because they get knocked out.
It's the style. His style's changed, hasn't it? Rather than a decline necessarily. He's adapted to his age more. He's not as active as he once was. There's Andy.
Yeah.
But his output isn't as prominent. He doesn't finish as strongly as he used to. Obviously the Cotto fight and the Margarita fight, he really sort of put it on them later on, and he doesn't do that anymore. Maybe it is because of age. Maybe it's just he's found God.
No more Ariza, maybe as well.
Well, yeah, that's obviously a big factor as well. No Ariza shakes, but lots of factors. But I do think Manny's going to win this, and I've got my doubts. Of course, I've got my doubts. Mayweather could just steamroll him and really prove that he is a fantastic fighter. That he's already proven that. I'll be fair to him, but he could really seal the sort of legacy with this fight.
Yeah. From what I've seen watching a lot of their fights back, Mayweather fights differently against two kinds of fighters: southpaws and fighters that he's bigger than. When he goes in against those guys, he doesn't kind of take the early rounds easy and suss them out. It seems like he watches a lot more tape and will study those fighters, and he comes in and he wants to impose himself on the fight straight away. And I see Mayweather really taking control early and keeping control of the whole fight. I don't think it will be a mismatch, but I think he'll win a clear decision in still a competitive fight. If there's gonna be a knockout, it's gonna be Pacquiao kind of abandoning any kind of strategy that he has and going for it late, kind of how Hatton did.
That's a fair assessment. Andy, are you there?
Finally, mate.
There we go. Let's obviously hear your views on the fight.
Which one? I've just been watching Lomachenko there, just like an exhibition.
Well, I just caught a couple of those rounds, and obviously he started a bit slow, didn't he? And then he just picked off and had his way, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he actually lost the first round, actually. I like to see him step in more with his punches, actually. I'm beginning to actually kind of come around to the idea that maybe this Walters fight is maybe just a step too far for him.
I wouldn't go that far yet. I think, obviously, Walters is a monster at the weight and monstrous reach, monstrous power, and I think, he could probably lay anyone out, but I do think Lomachenko is a different level, skill-wise.
I've heard from a ton of different places that Walters is running his contract down and he's going to be PBC very soon.
Yeah. Well, Brian mentioned that earlier. He's doing basically a Chavez and he's just waiting to go fuck off with Heyman.
Who's Heyman got at featherweight?
Russell Jr.
Yeah.
And who's the other champion? Well, Gradovich is with Top Rank and Selby's Matchroom, obviously. So
what about 130 then?
Yeah, maybe I don't know if Lomachenko be moving up. Martinez beat Salido, didn't he? And I think Martinez is with Top Rank.
I think more about Walters moving up in weight though, because he's massive at 126.
Yeah, he won't be at 126 for too long.
Well, the two guys at the two champions at Super Feather are the Japanese guys, and then I don't think there's any other title holder in those weights.
Well, to be honest, I think Uchiyama's there for the taking. I think
Moira will burst him. After seeing Moira destroy Dib, I think Moira will
just talking about
destroy Uchiyama.
Did you mention that fight, yeah?
No, we've only really been talking about Floyd's Pacquiao tonight, but
that was a vicious knockout. I watched it last night.
It was fucking brutal.
Did you actually watch I watched the Japanese version of it, and with that the first left hand, fuck me, it's like a gun going off.
Just fucking rattled his head back, didn't it?
Yeah. Who else is on the call?
We've got Brian and Christine at the moment. Rob just dropped off, I think, and obviously Kurt's just disappeared. Brian's been on all night, basically talking shit, watching the fight in Vegas.
Coked out his nut.
You on the gear, Brian? He's doing some lines now, probably.
Who was it that actually got the complimentary ticket? I seen somebody on Twitter earlier on. Was it Hatenbaum? Was it him that got the free ticket?
Did he?
Someone mentioned it. Someone getting a free ticket. I think it was Kurt that mentioned it.
Lucky bastard.
Who was that?
Was it you, Kurt, that mentioned? Was it Hatenbaum that got a...
Yeah, Hatenbaum. Yeah, he's there.
Free
he's
ticket.
got a ticket. Yeah, he's got a comp ticket. Yeah.
How the fuck they manage that, man?
He knows someone. His mate got it in. I think they were given out in March, but they were kept quiet.
What you gotta do, mate, if those sites are done?
I've still got a few sites that I can use. The quality is pretty good as well, but I'm hoping it'll come back up in a minute. I reckon it's the piracy police been told to shut them down, but hopefully they'll get it up.
Yeah.
Right, who's next, Dom?
I don't think there's anyone else at the moment.
Is Graham still ducking?
He's ducking. Asif is ducking as well.
Disgraceful.
So much for the promises, Kurt, though, eh?
What?
So much for the promises.
What ones?
The ones about the site.
Yeah, they should. You should have a backup site, shouldn't they, in case this happened?
Fucking
I suppose
suspected.
with this fight, I mean, with a normal pay-per-views, I think it'd be fine. But this one, maybe they thought they could get away with it.
I got up. I woke up about 12:15, checked my phone. It was like wireless connection was kind of dodgy and that. Yeah, came downstairs. The missus was saying that she was watching Showcase on her iPad and stuff, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I looked up, and it was like, "Oh, it's Kurt." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then she was saying that she was watching Showcase on her iPad and stuff, and it wasn't coming through. It was kind of like intermittent and stuff. I've spent the last 2 hours pacing the house shadow boxing, man. It's fucking been crazy.
Got a few in the chat saying they're going to come on, so if you get any ads, just add them, obviously.
Is Christine still there, eh?
Yeah, I'm here.
You don't say much.
Huh?
You don't say much. You don't say
Oh,
much.
She's getting
my
nervous.
nerves kicked in now, big time. We're like, what's the time now? We're like just under an hour away until the ring walks, and I'm starting to get a bit nervous now.
Yeah, you got Pacquiao, yeah?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Yep, I have.
Could be a bad night.
Huh?
It could be a bad night.
Yeah. It will never be a bad night when Manny's fighting. Never.
Denny's watched Beltran last night.
Yeah, I saw the knockout. Fucking good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the right hand was vicious.
The
like.
first knockdown, fucking
Yeah. I watched I watched that Japanese card. See, you know that Akira Yagashi?
Mm-hmm.
He fought this Thai fighter. Swear to God, the right hand. I posted the pictures up on Twitter actually. The right hand that he landed, he literally bounced the guy's head off the canvas. Right, he was done for like 5 minutes. He looked like he was dead. It was evil.
What, the tiger own?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I'll have to
See if
watch
I can-
that.
I'll post the pictures for these. So just general like chatting bollocks and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Trying to stay awake
Yeah.
instead of watching Carl Froch
Yeah.
talk shit.
Did you see Carl Froch yesterday, Andy?
Did I?
Carol Froch.
When he was talking to Floyd.
I seen the bit where he was mentioning about cutting down trees. He's chopping down trees and stuff. That was the bit that I seen.
He's fucking wanker, isn't he?
Just mentioning.
Major cringe. Oh, God.
I think we just tried to add someone. If you're, Macho Grande, just join the call, mate, if you want to get on the call. Should be a little button somewhere. Have any of you put some money on for the fight tonight?
I think I've got Floyd by decision there. Tenner on it. I need to get my phone actually to find out what odds I got again. Give me a second.
It's last I saw it was evens. You could get through it.
Give me a second. I'm just going to get my phone.
Macho Grande, we've added you to the group. Just join the call, mate. Should be a little button to join. I haven't bet on this fight because I just think that there's some value, I think, in the split decision and majority decision markets, maybe the draw, but I can't bet on this. It's just too mental.
Oh, for God's sake. It's always about bloody matchroom with these lot. No one gives a shit.
What are they saying now? I've got it muted.
Oh, they're just talking about Selby. About him being up at Mayweather's gym.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, no.
Area.
Kurt Nunnies are working, mate.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, we can hear you now, mate.
Oh, fucking hell. Sorry about that. It's a fucking nightmare.
That's alright. It's fucking Skype view is always playing up. How are you?
Yeah, I don't really use it, to be fair, so I ain't got a fucking clue.
So how are you seeing the fight, mate? Who are you picking?
Oh, Mayweather all day long. To be honest, like, I've not heard one Pacquiao fan come up with any technical reason as to how or why he's going to win this fight. All I keep hearing is bollocks about, oh, he wants it more, it's his time, blah, 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 blah. I just think it's a load of nonsense, if I'm honest with you.
Do you think it's going to be an easy one for Mayweather?
I think it's going to be as easy as he wants it to be honest. I mean, I was watching the Cotto fight the other day, and I actually think Cotto did really, really well in that fight.
He got scored with it
that was
towards
a
the
tough
end.
fight, mate. I watched that as well, mate. That was a tougher fight than what I remembered.
Yeah, it was. I think a couple of things that Cotto done really well. I mean, I like the way he kind of stalked Floyd. He cut the ring off well. He varied his jab, head and body, got his way inside, worked, tied him up. But Manny doesn't have any of those attributes. Doesn't have a jab, doesn't have the footwork, and he can throw as many punches as he wants, but he's not going to be able to close the distance. He can throw fucking 50,000 punches around, but if you can't get close enough to land them, it's fucking pointless. I honestly don't see any way he wins this fight. None whatsoever.
You don't think he can outpoint him or use, superior work rate?
No, well, I mean, work rate. I mean, Guerrero had work rate.
Did he? I mean,
yeah,
he
Guerrero,
just sort of
Guerrero's
shut down after a while.
Well, because he couldn't close the distance, he couldn't close the range. If you look at Cotto, he used his jab. He used his jab to get inside and work on the inside and tie him up. Manny doesn't have inside game. What's his name? De La Hoya did the same thing. And even Hatton, for all Hatton's faults, he had good feints and he was able to get inside. All right, he got battered when he got there, but he was able to close the distance to work. I just don't see any way that Pacquiao's going to be able to get inside. It doesn't matter how many punches he throws because he's got to close the distance. And I just don't see how he's going to do that without eating right hands all night long.
Do you think the southpaw stance will present, different problems for Mayweather?
Yeah, to a point it will, but I mean, what's his name? Who's the guy? Algieri. I mean, he tagged him with right hand, so I don't see how Floyd's not going to be able to do the same. To be honest with you,
Bradley caught him with a couple as well, didn't he, in the rematch?
Yeah.
Caught him with some good shots, right hands.
Yeah, I mean, and Bradley was shocking in that second fight as well. I mean, he was just, I don't know what he was playing at in that. He was like spastic in that ring, wasn't he? He was, standing square on, just throwing weird hooks. It was just embarrassing to watch.
He's probably still concussed from the Provodnikov fight.
Yeah, he did take an absolute pasting. But no, I don't know. I mean, I think Pacquiao looked good against, Margarito when he was standing in front of him, Colotti when he was standing in front of him, De La Hoya when he was weight drained, Cotto when he was weight drained. But I don't know. Maybe. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a proper Flomo, but I just don't see what Pacquiao's going to do. Because, as I said, I mean, he's got to close the distance, and I think that's the biggest problem. And I'm no technical expert, but I've always been of the assumption that it's a fighter with a better footwork would beat Floyd. And I actually only think there's two fighters that can, and that's Golovkin and Andre Ward. Fighters of that style, I just don't see how Pacquiao would do it personally.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment, to be honest. Like you say, Pacquiao does sometimes. He struggles to get on the inside. He's got to, as you say, get there. And once he's there, what's he going to do? And I don't think he's got the game to do that. His way of fighting is darting in and out, and that obviously.
That's because he doesn't fight well at long range, does he?
Oh, no.
He's like a mid-range fighter, and I don't know how he's going to get there.
So he's very explosive on the mid-range. He darts in and he gets back out before you hit him, but Floyd, specialises in that. He specialises in you coming in and clouts you on, and then he does it himself. He steps back or he slips under the punch.
Yeah, honestly, as I said, I'm no technical guru, but I really think the Cotto fight is the blueprint. That might sound a bit stupid because he was getting a pasting late on, but I think that's the way to do it, and I just don't think Pacquiao has that at all. I mean, I've got money on Pacquiao to get dropped at some point. I think he'll come in, get square on, probably a flash knockdown, but I can definitely see him getting dropped in this fight.
What odds did you get for that?
3-1.
It's not too bad, actually.
Also, can I ask you another quick question? Sorry, I won't keep you too long.
No,
what happens at the end of the fight? I was thinking that if it goes to points, who announces the winner? Because if it's Jimmy Lennon Jr., then you just assume that Floyd's won. And if it's the other old cunt, then it's going to be Pacquiao. I don't know. Anyone know what they're going to do?
No,
that's what they said, didn't they? They said that Lennon was obviously going to do it if Floyd won and buffer if Pacquiao, but it takes away any suspense, doesn't it? If it's a close fight, so I'm not sure. I don't think they've given out the details. Maybe they've worked on it, and
maybe they'll just read a card each or something and read a few sentences each. Buffer will read one judge and Lennon will read the next judge and whatever.
It's a load of odd bollocks, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the only other time we've seen this happen is obviously Tyson Lewis, but that ended in knockout, so it wasn't really an issue.
Yeah, I think this one might end in a knockout with any luck as well.
What, for Pacquiao, yeah?
No, and he's got no chance of knocking him out. Because it's another thing as well. I mean, when was the last time Mayweather fought someone that was smaller than him? I think, Hatton and Marquez was the last time he fought someone that much smaller, and he absolutely, obviously, destroyed Hatton. And Marquez, he just played with him and he'd been out of the ring for best part of 2 years. I don't think many people are talking about that either, because he's really small.
No, that is a good point. I've not seen a lot of that mentioned, and you've brought that point to light to me, that obviously Pacquiao is a lot smaller than him. On fight night weight, I don't think there'll be that much difference, maybe just a couple of pounds, but obviously it's the height and the reach that makes the difference. People were saying maybe Floyd would be about 4 or 5 pounds heavier come fight night, so we'll see if that really is the difference tonight. Hatton himself, he brought up a weight, but he still ballooned up, didn't he? He still ballooned up to higher 150s, 160s, so he wasn't necessarily a smaller guy, but Marquez was obviously the bloated fighter, and he got manhandled.
Yeah, I think Manny's going to get manhandled as well pretty badly tonight. Actually, what I'd like to see, I think this could be a Floyd face turn. I'd actually like to see him come out and as the pretty boy and just stand in the centre of the ring and just fucking take him out early.
That'd be good, but the opposite works as well. Manny's usually used to fighting bigger guys. Obviously, he had the Algieri fight the last time out, but he's used to fighting guys that weigh a lot more than him and taking punches from them, and he's dealt with it as well. This is why this fight is so intriguing, is because they're optimal weights. They're not fucking about draining themselves and all that. They're going to be fighting on equal terms almost. Apart from the height disadvantage and things like that, you're not getting the weight fuckery and catch weights and all that nonsense.
No, but I mean, to be ultra critical of Manny's record, I mean, De La Hoya was a ghost. I mean, Cotto was pretty drained. Clottey was shit. Margarito was shit. Algieri was shit. Bradley was pretty terrible in the second fight. I actually thought the first fight was a lot closer than what most had it. And I'll tell you why, because I was having to watch it with the sound down, because the missus was upstairs asleep and having a right moan up. I turned the sound off, and I didn't score it, but I was like, that's pretty close actually. So I wasn't completely horrified. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think his record is all that good. I don't know. But as I said, I don't like Freddie Roach. I don't really like Pacquiao, and I'm just a pure Pacquiao hater. So.
Yeah, proper Flomo, basically.
Yeah, basically. I don't know as well. Just very quickly, I will let you go because I am boring there. The camps. Have you been watching any of Floyd's camp?
No.
Sorry, not Floyd. Sorry, Pacquiao's camp.
No, I've stopped.
Yeah, I've seen a bit. Yeah.
What did you make of? I know you can't really look into it, but too much into it. But I remember watching Hatton under Bob Shannon, and I literally got super excited watching him work the pads, thinking Hatton looks fucking terrible, and just went and lumped on Shevchenko. And some of the mitt work with Freddie Roach looks fucking horrific. It's like, I don't know, it's like a 10-year-old just doing the mitts. It looks pretty bad.
I think Freddie said, didn't he, as well, that one of the sessions was pretty shit, and he had an argument with one of Manny's numerous guys who were there with him because they were talking in their language, and Freddie was pissed off, and then he said after they had the argument, Manny was back to doing it properly again. So, but no, I haven't really noticed much of that. But that's the only one thing I did take from it.
I know it's pretty bad, but I mean his ear's glued to his shoulder at the minute. He's struggling with his Parkinson's, and it just didn't look good at all. But I know you can't read too much into it, but I thought it looked pretty shambolic, to be honest with you.
Maybe he's just putting it out there to laying a trap, pretending he can't do it. Do you think they're that clever?
No, I don't. No. I mean, I thought Floyd looked. I just thought the whole thing looked a disaster, and I think he's like laughing. I know he's always laughing and joking at the weigh-ins, but it's almost like he thinks he's on fucking holiday. Mayweather's all business, all serious, and Floyd's winning.
You mentioned that though. I remember, if you remember as well, the Khan before he fought Danny Garcia, they showed the sparring footage of him, and he was getting smashed around the ring again. I can't remember who the guy he was sparring now. People said he looked absolutely awful, and then obviously he fought Danny Garcia and got sparked out.
Well, he was just getting absolutely mullered by hooks, if I remember rightly. Because again, I got a bit excited having watched that footage, thinking, "Fucking hell, if he fights like that, Garcia's just going to murder him." And he actually did. I don't know if that's Pacquiao's best option, to throw when Floyd does, and go that route. Just stand there and just trade. Maybe that might be the best way. I don't know.
Yeah, but Floyd won't engage with that, will he? He's not going to just stand there and trade. He'll dart back out and get away from him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Floyd's going to hold the centre of the ring. I think he's going to come out and try and hold the centre of the ring and start from there. I don't really see him working off the back foot. People were talking about Floyd's going to take 3 or 4 rounds to work him out. I mean, if he gives away 3 or 4 rounds, he'd probably lose a fight. You're getting into split decision territory if you give away the first, quarter of the fight. So I don't see him taking that long.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, that's what a lot of people predict's going to happen, is that Manny's going to really put it on him for the first 3 or 4, and then Floyd will figure him out, and that'll be it. Usually the fighter who finishes the fight stronger seems to get the nod, but obviously we'll see how significant those early rounds are.
We've seen a few dodgy scorecards recently with Floyd. The Canelo fight, I think one of the Medina cards was a bit closer. It almost feels as if they're waiting to rob him. So hopefully, I don't really know how much tactics they do in the camp, but I like to think someone would have sat him down and said, look, you can't give away 4 rounds, because if there's 2 swing rounds, that's it. It's 6 rounds down. So I don't see him taking that long. I see him taking it early doors, hold the centre of the ring, and just fucking pound a little Filipino midget. Anyway, lads, look, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for having us on, and
it was good
I'm going to carry. Yeah, cheers. I'm going to carry on listening, and don't know if you're taking callers tomorrow. I might call in and gloat.
Yeah, we'll take you on and laugh at you when Pacquiao wins. So
that's not. If he wins, I'm going into hiding. I ain't going to work tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to shut all my social networking down because I'm going to get absolutely murdered. But yeah, look, enjoy the fight, lads, and I'll carry on listening. Thanks for having us on.
Nice one, mate.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers, mate.
Christine was very quiet then. Yeah, she was sitting there gritting her teeth and putting her nails in her arm.
Seriously. No, I'm not going to let anything get under my skin, not tonight. I can't afford to. It will just ruin everything for me.
He was saying some evil things about Manny there.
I know. But hey ho, it is what it is. We'll soon see in less than an hour.
And he's been to bed yet, no?
No, I've been up since 6.
I went to bed at 6.
Yeah, I went to bed about 6:30 and got
Did you
up.
sleep?
Yeah, I mean, I kept waking up. I was just excited, to be honest. Kid at Christmas.
I was surprised how much I slept. I
got up around 11:30. I had some dinner, and then just been drinking a bit of coffee since.
Imagine waking up right after 6 hours, knowing you're just getting ready to watch a fight, and then you come downstairs and your fucking internet's not working. Honest to Christ. So I had to bite the bullet, man. The site that I'm using the new stuff, it's kind of choppy. It's really good quality the way, but it's kind of choppy. So purchase Sky as a backup. I'll make money on the fight anyway. So I made money off Maurer yesterday. That was like print money, baby. That Billy did knock out.
How much did you get for that?
The return, I got me 50 quid back on it.
Oh, that's alright. What were the odds on that? I wasn't really paying attention.
I think it was 94 or something. I think I got that bet Friday morning. Was it Friday morning, Thursday night?
That's bloody good, that.
It was. So what time are we finishing up? This Santa Cruz fight is what? What round it's in? Must be going into 3rd or 4th, I think.
2.
Yeah, just about 2nd round now. I don't know. I mean, have we got any more callers? Is Kurt still about?
I'm still here. I'm tired. I'm like the Walking Dead at the moment.
Did you go to bed, mate?
What?
Did you not go to bed, no?
No, I tried to, but I couldn't sleep.
That'll be me right through now till we finish the pod.
So now I just feel like shit.
No, obviously, with me sleeping, that'll be me right through until like Sunday night now.
Yeah, I'll probably try and get a bit of kip tomorrow, but before the pod, because that'll be a long one, I imagine.
Yeah.
Just see if we've got any more people that want.
It's very hard doing a podcast at like 3:30 in the morning as well. I think we've done a good job though.
Yeah, you.
We should be getting paid for this.
We should be.
Hauling, sitting ringside, and we're sitting here. Nah, this is what angers me.
Yeah, it's piss take, like.
Right, lads, I'm going to shoot off because obviously it's packing me. After this one, I've got a phone. Well, make a cup of coffee and charge up my phone.
Right, no worries. Oh, here for you tomorrow, sweetheart.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Cheers to the listeners again, guys. Well done
Bye.
recording that.
Yeah, cheers for listening, guys. Well, that's probably us done.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure you tune in for the main podcast.
War Pacquiao.
War
Yeah.
Pacquiao, come on!
Manny.